enjoy your paper for a few minutes.
Yeah, well, it said that we set a record power just as I predicted.
Yeah, we sure did. Come on, guys, let's rock and roll. You be a good boy, Tux. See you in a little bit. Poor Ruby's dirty. It's the dirtiest I think she's been since we've had her. But it's supposed to rain Friday. So I think Dawn's waiting for that rain to pass before we give her a bath. Another wind chime picture. I thought vibrant color would be a good way to perk up the morning. Bye, buddy. Have a good day.
You too, Mom.
See you this afternoon.
You too.
I got the boys dropped off at school with no problem, and I've stopped here at Walmart in Fuquay to pick up a few things. I do not know what the crane is doing, but if I had to guess, it would be some sort of HVAC replacement or repair. Well, I guess I'll have to try to catch what the dash cam caught while I was in Walmart. I did see some cones in the middle of the store and a couple of construction workers, but it still wasn't clear what they were doing. At any point, I got what I needed at Walmart. You know, exciting things like laundry detergent, cat food, tissues, and Brussels sprouts. Yeah, really exciting. I wanted a Rubbermaid roughneck storage container or two. And you know, Walmart really doesn't sell them anymore. They have the Sterilite brand, but I think Home Depot does, and we may need something for Johnny's school project from Home Depot too, so I think I'll wait and do that little errand this afternoon with him. Rest of my plans before I go pick up the boys is start getting ready for my robotics class tomorrow, my Lego League robotics class. Trying to go back and forth with whether or not I want to teach the kids about binary and hexadecimal numbers this week in an interactive, stand-up, fun flashcard way, or if I want them to start building some more sophisticated robots, a color sorter, a robotic arm, and a tank with treads. So if I want to do the building part, I really need to pull all of the parts, which is probably a couple hundred parts per design, per layout. So we'll see, because I can't have 10 kids all at once try to go to 3 part bins and pull parts. It just doesn't work very well. But if I hand them a bag and say, here's most of the parts you need, ones you're missing that I screwed up, go pull, that works much better. So, but it takes a while, a half an hour to an hour per build, because these are 750 to 1,000 piece builds to pull the parts. So we'll see. I need to get my head around that. I need to be prepared. I'll be nervous if I don't get myself prepared. Because inquiring minds want to know, I thought I'd drive past over here and see if we could see what it was they were putting on the crane. And kind of like I figured, it looks like a HVAC equipment. I guess I decided I'm going to pull the parts, and if I don't use them this week, I'll use them next week. So that's the color sorter, and I've had it together before, but I've pulled parts back off of it. But I think, you know, this is no fun if I just hand it to them like this, so I'm gonna take it apart and make them put it together. So I'm still out here working on my Lego stuff. I've been out here probably an hour. And the car keeps on cycling on and off, the fan motor up here in the front. And I have my phone out here, but I have not been in the Tesla app. I do not have a key fob out here. And I have preconditioning turned off. So I'm sort of perplexed as to why the fan is running. But I guess the car knows what it needs to be doing. Well, most of the stuff for the color sorter should be in here. The sensors, the brick, the treads, the little color sorting testing, and the parts. Now I'm sure they're missing a few parts, but most of it should be in there. Oh, and I've got the wires. They'll have to ask for them. Well, I'm on my way to get the boys, and Don is ahead of me in the GMC on his way to the landfill and the local farm to get eggs. So when I got into the car to leave to get the boys, the first thing I noticed was that it was really warm in the car. It looks like I had the heat set to 76 when I got out. A little warm, I know, but I guess that's what it was. And it was running. It had Keep Climate on at the very bottom of the big screen. So question is how did that happen? Because A, I had not even been in the Tesla app today. Or yesterday or the day before to do anything to do with climate. So I had not set climate on from the app, and also I had not certainly had not intended to set Keep Climate on from the big screen in the car. So I assume I accidentally hit it on the big screen this morning, because I was in there adjusting the climate a couple of times, fan up, fan down, recircled air, not recircled air, trying to get it to be comfortable. So I guess I accidentally bumped it. We'll just assume that. I did read in the forum a couple of people said that they turned the climate on from their app, and then they thought after they drove the car it would, you know, be back off, but apparently they went out and their car was really warm and it was still running. I don't think that scenario describes what's happened to me. Like I said, I think in my case it's most likely I just bumped it on the big screen, but I am going to try to be careful for a few days just to make sure that when I actually exit the car and I'm in the house, the climate is not running. I mean, I wouldn't want it running all night overnight tonight. Just because we're plugged in and it doesn't cost a lot doesn't mean that there's not any wear and tear on the car's, you know, HVAC system. So I don't want it running when it doesn't need to be.
They're doing this construction over here. This whole place basically fell apart.
And then they started tearing it down. So this is Cargill Corporation, a soybean processing plant. Hasn't been in use for quite some time. One of the grain silos fell about a month ago, just kind of collapsed on itself. And now they appear to be out here totally demolishing the site. Totally changing the way the landscape on the south side of Raleigh looks, as this was quite a notable landmark when coming into the city. Wow. So what'd you think of that, Johnny?
That bridge collapsing was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was loud and powerful, and
that thing cut through metal like a butter knife cuts through butter.
Yep. Yeah, Johnny and I are pretty interested in construction equipment and what goes on in our environment, and just watching stuff like this. A little sad to see man-made time and investment in building up the silo infrastructure, and then, you know, n number of years later coming and tearing it down and all of that going to waste. So I don't like it from that standpoint, but I do like it from just sort of watching the environment change and paying attention to what's going on. And I know we have some younger viewers, and you know, kids tend to like construction equipment, powerful vehicles and that kind of thing. So I just thought it would be interesting to capture some of it in today's video.
That was pretty amazing, but like I said earlier, especially the latter part, we're thinking that in a couple weeks or so that there's going to be even more destruction than that. But anyways, we were wondering how we saw. The guy was way down low and the crane was way up high, so maybe he has a camera somewhere on his claw or up on one of the parts where the joint is. I don't know. But either way, no person that low can see so high and do it that skilled.
We've hit 60 degrees for the second day in a row. Nice and sunny. It's a little breezy and it doesn't even matter because it still feels good. Hey, Donnie.
Hey.
You just hanging out there waiting on me?
Just waiting. Yep.
Yeah, well, it's 61 here according to the car, but we saw 66.
So, what are you doing tonight?
Nothing.
Okay. I might blast her off with the hose.
She looks really bad.
Yeah, well, I'll probably just blast her with the pressure washer and get the salt off.
Okay.
It's going to rain tomorrow.
Right, we don't want to make her perfect until after the rain passes. Hey, Tuxie. Hey, Tux. So two things. Number one, this is the dirtiest Ruby has been since we brought her home. I mean, just horrible. That happened over in Apex by the high school construction area. Remind me not to go past there again anytime for like the next 6 months probably. Second thing is, I went inside because I had said hi to Dawn and I forgot to roll my window up. So the car didn't lock and we could get in and out of the car and the car would come alive, but it wouldn't put power to the glass. So I would like to suggest that if you accidentally leave your window down and your car is already unlocked where people can get inside, let people roll up the window without the key fob. So we're expecting rain Thursday into Friday, and a significant amount. So obviously Dawn doesn't want to take the time to totally get Ruby looking 100% only to have her get rained on the very next day. But he is going to use the power washer to blast the salt off. Make her look 100% better than she looks right this minute. Right. Thank you, Donnie. You're welcome. While Don was using the pressure washer, I got all of the parts pulled for Robot Arm H25. And a little tip, if you're looking to organize Lego pieces, the ones for, you know, Technique or the EV3 robots, these storage bins came from Harbor Freight, and they have these little pull-out cups, and they're the best. Yeah, instead of fixed stationary compartments, this cup arrangement works well. When you close it, besides snapping it, you have to press down to make sure that the Lego pieces don't go between the cups, but I found it to work good. And I have 2 thin, and then I have 2 thick ones for bigger pieces, and that's that does me pretty good for sorting all of the robot parts. Looking much more respectable, much. No more nastiness down the side. Like just about everybody else on Facebook, I got you know, a sponsored ad for making a 2017 year-end photo book from Resnap. And I took a look at it and I went, you know what? That really looks pretty cool. And it's 100 pages, I guess, you know, both sides, and it did a really nice job. I spent maybe 90 minutes going in and finessing what was going to show up in my book. And I know there's a little glare here at the table, but you get the idea. And I'm really pleased. There's pictures of Ruby in here. There are quite a few pictures of Ruby. The eclipse day. The day we brought her home over here, Yates Mill and stuff. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I would definitely do it again next year.